very rare variety of garnet called Mali Garnet. Mali Garnet comes from, can you guess? Yes, the Republic of Mali in East Africa. That is the only place on Earth where Mali Garnet has been found. Now what makes Mali Garnets unique? It's that these stones have a high brilliance and dispersion when they are cut, which means they sparkle like a diamond, much more so than other gems. This sparkle is due to a unique mixture of grossolite and anderite being in the Mali Garnets. And some have suggested a new species called granderite. But whatever it is, cut Mali Garnets have fire and sparkle. You may not have heard of Mali Garnets before, as they are a very recent discovery. In fact, they were discovered in 1994, and to this date, again, Mali in East Africa is the only location on Earth where these types of garnets have been discovered. Unfortunately, Mali Garnets are almost always less than 5 carats in rough. The 5 pieces that I have obtained were between 2.56 and 4.53 carats before cutting. This means that about a 1 carat stone, about the biggest you're gonna be able to get. I conducted my own unofficial survey of Mali Garnet rough, and I pulled up some very old online sales offers of Mali Garnet from back in the late 90s. And I found 50 pieces of Mali rough, facet quality, and kind of looked through it. So at that time, it was about 6% of the rough was over 5 carats, and only 2% was 6 carats or more. And although it is rare to find Mali Garnet rough in sizes over 5 carats, here's a sneak preview of a coming attraction from my stash of gem rough. It's a 20 carat piece of Mali Garnet that is clean, which means I haven't seen any inclusions in the stone, at least not yet. I don't know if this would be considered the Rock of Gibraltar of Mali Garnets or not, but the size of this one makes it one of the more rare gemstones, even among the rare Mali Garnets. So this piece is 20.2 carats, and it resembles an oval, and I have in mind the design I want to cut for it. So stay tuned, and shh, don't tell Bopie that I have this. She'll ask me to cut it right away just so she can see it. Mali Garnets come in a color range from light green to yellow to brownish. Since all 5 of these gemstones are similarly shaped and sized, I'm going to dop them all up at once, and again take advantage of the keyed dop feature of my Ultratech faceting machine. The keyed dop feature allows me to pull one dop out of the machine and put another one into the machine while I'm in cutting, and I don't have to stop and manually realign the gemstone in the quill. Now, I explain all about the keyed dops and the assembly line cutting in another video, so if you want to know more, go to the video called Faceting Amethyst on an Assembly Line. Finished preforming our first tier and our girdle on our Mali Garnets. They're starting to come along. A couple of them have inclusions, which is the nature of the Mali Garnet. I can't, some of them I won't be able to work out, but we'll see what the Portuguese design does for these stones which have high brilliance. So we'll keep on working. I've started this with a 600 grit diamond topper. I did not go to anything rougher because they were smaller stones. I started with the 600 grit. So now I'll continue. I'm going to do another tier with the 600 grit and then go to the 1200 grit. So I finished pre-polishing our Mali Garnet, and they really want to sparkle already. Even with the 3000 diamond on a bat lap, it really made them like a glass-like finish with just the 3000. So I'm going to go next to the aluminum oxide on a dark side lap to polish them, and then we'll transfer to the crown and cut the second half of the stones. Alright, so this first Mali Garnet that I've finished polishing the pavilion is showing little sparkles of green and red, like a prism. I'm trying to see if I can pick that up with the camera. You can kind of see it along the girdle when it turns green, red, green, but it's also flashing up here, which I don't think the camera's picking up very well. Anyway, unique. These Mali Garnets are already wanting to get off the dop and sparkle. We'll see how this turns out once we finish faceting the other half. Okay, we've got the pavilion, or the bottom half of our Mali Garnets, all polished. Aluminum oxide on a dark side lap worked great. There were no problems. I was also able to use the bat stick, aluminum oxide bat sticks, like a Crayola crayon, and put that on the dark side. However, I still like the powder, the aluminum oxide powder, better, because I can put more on and really supercharge the dark side disc if I want, and really move a facet as I'm polishing it, more so than with the bat sticks. But the bat stick worked fine. I'm still experimenting with it. So now I'll put our stones in the transfer jigs and transfer them so I can cut the upper half or the crown of the stones. Okay, I'm ready to start working on the top half or the crown of our Mali Garnet. I've got 5 of them dopped up, ready to go, and so I just put the dop into the quill and tighten it up where it sits because of the V shape of the dop. They're keyed dops. So now I'll try it. What should happen is I cut the first facet, which is at a 42-degree angle with the 96 index, 42-degree angle. What should happen is the first facet should line up with the girdle as I cut down the stone here. Now, because it's a smaller stone and there's not much to cut away, I'm going to start with a 600 diamond grit topper. This topper is from High Tech, but there's toppers from all over China, and they're fine for the coarser grits. They're not fine for the finer grits when you work with this stone. But at the 600 grit level, it's okay. Start cutting our Mali Garnet, and I'll just go through all 5 of them with the 600 and then move to the 1200 grit. Okay, I've finished polishing the crown of all of our Mali Garnets, and so next I'll polish the tables. I used dark side with aluminum oxide powder, and this garnet polished right up with the dark side. Absolutely no problems, no scratches, no nothing. And before that I used the 3000 diamond on a bat lap. So I went from a 3000 diamond straight to aluminum oxide on the dark side. No problems with it at all. And I did also use the experiment more with the bat stick, the aluminum oxide bat stick from Garnets. Like I said, it's kind of like a Crayola crayon, and so initially I would charge the dark side lap with the aluminum oxide powder and rub it in, but that it does get your finger a little messy and stuff. So then if it just needed a little touch or a little charge, a little boost, instead of going back and reusing the powder, I used the bat stick, and it worked great. Just while the lap was running, I took the bat stick and just ran it over the lap a little bit, and that got me an instant burst of polishing, cutting power. Next step is to cut the tables. Finished polishing the tables of our Mali Garnets, and now I'll put them in the acetone to remove the super glue. Again, for acetone, what I've started using is a plastic pill bottle. Acetone, for some reason, won't eat through this plastic, and I like it. None of the acetone evaporates. I can put the stones in, and they're going to hit just plastic. They're not going to hit glass, so it's not going to hurt the stone when I put them in there. And just that much of the dop is covered by acetone, so we'll leave them there overnight, and then we'll take out our Mali Garnets and weigh them and measure them and send them off to BOPIE. Mali Garnets have a lot of fire and sparkle. They cut and polish beautifully with no issue. So even if you're a fairly new cutter, if you come across a piece of Mali Garnet rough, give it a try. If you're looking for the rough, of course, look for clean. Look for larger pieces if you can find it. It's hard to find in the 5-carat range, but larger if you can. And I enjoyed cutting these stones, so give it a try. Happy fasting, everyone.